In this video, I get talked into doing a type of flying that I don't enjoy to go rescue a friend that needs some help. That turns into delivering pizza and firewood, and somewhere in this video, I'm gonna tell you a 2-minute story about bagels before you realize that I ended up breaking something on this very airplane that is supposed to take me 12,000 miles in about 2 weeks.
Hey, I'm Brent, and this is Cleared to Adventure.
Stepping out of Alpha, leaving my airspace to the east. Squawk vehicle, you are cleared to adventure.
And virtual traffic, Skyway in 2913 Charlie. We're warming up here on 2 right.
All right, so I realized that the first 15 seconds of this video were kind of intense. We'll get to that. But if you noticed, I'm back on skis. And I know, after the last video, I am surprised as well. But I'm back on skis for one reason, and it's this guy right here. This is Josh. You've met him a few different times, but you probably didn't know that Josh and I have been friends since about 2008 when I moved to Alaska. So I grew up as an only child, and I never really had any siblings. But for almost the last 2 decades, Josh has essentially been my older brother. He has saved my bacon more than once, and I'd like to think that I've returned the favor. Josh is probably one of 4 people in my life that I would drop anything for if he needed help. So today, when he called and said that his girlfriend had broken her ski on some crazy long cross-country ski adventure that she was on, I already knew what this day was going to turn into. We were gonna fly out and we were gonna bring her support, which meant that I would have to do my least favorite kind of flying to get to her. And yeah, I'm talking about ski flying.
Ready? Yeah, ready when you are. Yeah, 13 Charlie, departing 2 right.
I'm a rocket, I'm over the moon. I'm out of my mind. High above Lightyear, baby. I'm on planet 9. In a galaxy far, far away. I'm a shooting star. You are my Venus, baby. Let me be your Mars, 'cause it feels so good.
And 705 for us departing on the opposite direction there. We're going to climb up for a bit and we'll make a right down once it's out of your way.
Getting high on you and it feels so good. It feels so fine.
We pulled the plane out of the hangar at Birchwood and we got into the air pretty quickly. Now the advantage to having a heated hangar is that when you do want to go fly in the wintertime, the preheating part is, well, it's pretty much done. The plan was to head from Birchwood down to Lake Hood, grab a pair of snowshoes, a couple of pizzas, some firewood, and then head down to the Kenai Peninsula to find Nikki and the group that she was with. We would drop the supplies that she needed to fix her ski, along with the pizza and the other goodies, and then head back. I mean, that sounded simple enough, but simple doesn't exist on skis.
Oh, 13 Charlie took it like a champ, right? Didn't even know it was there.
No. This whole ski flying thing is still so new to me.
So fun to you.
Would you say it's so fun to me? I don't know if I'd use the word fun. I would use the word it's new.
I think
I might like it. Yeah.
Today.
Okay.
The flight to Lake Hood was about as uneventful as you want it to be. Try not to irritate the neighbors on departure, play the slalom game with like the 40 bald eagles that hang out over the dump, avoid Merrill's Class Delta, stay south of Tudor Road, but not so far south that you end up in Anchorage's Class Charlie, then thread the plane right along the boundary until you get to an overpass, and then just, I don't know, try to have some directional control while you're landing. We secured the goods that we were taking to Nikki, we got some gas, and we were off for a quick flight down to the lake.
One 3 Charlie, ready for southeast?
1-3 Charlie, southeast, clear for takeoff.
Southeast, here we go, 1 3 Charlie.
You want to go sunrise? Yeah.
Turning on traffic, 1 3 Charlie, we're coming up Potters. 17, we'll be going down towards sunrise.
Now, in the beginning of this video, I told you that I was going to tell you a story about bagels, and I'm sure that confused a lot of you. What on earth do bagels have to do with this flight? And really, it's less about this specific flight and actually more about ski flying in general. As you probably know by now, I have a 3-year-old daughter that just fills my day with both joy and interesting new challenges that I never really thought that I'd be faced with. I try to be the best parent that I can be, but admittedly, I have my flaws. A while back, I realized that my daughter really loved bagels. And I mean, how could she not? My wife and I love bagels so much that we could quite literally eat them for every meal. One night, I randomly looked up how to make bagels at home, and as luck would have it, I had all the ingredients that I needed to give it a try. So on a whim at like 8 p.m., I put together a batch of bagels. And the next morning, I got up at the crack of dawn to bake them for my family. Now, in most cities, I know, you could go find a bagel shop and save yourself like 8 hours of work. But here in Anchorage, we have a non-existent bagel culture, and I had just put up with it long enough. My family was going to have fresh bagels, even if that meant taking matters into my own flour-covered hands. I was expecting my daughter's eyes to light up as she bit into what could be the single best thing that I had ever baked, because, I mean, they were pretty awesome. But what I got instead was a puzzled look on that 3-year-old girl's face when she saw that the bottom of her bagel was slightly burned. She was used to store-bought bagels, and those didn't have those burned marks on the bottom. So, trying to be the best parent that I could be, I explained to her that that's how home-cooked things are. They're not always perfect. But the only way that she would eat that bagel was if I cut off the bottom. And that trend continued for weeks until one day I tricked her. And I put the peanut butter on the burned side of the bagel so she wouldn't see it. Yeah, I tricked my kids. I told you that I had my flaws. After she caught on to what I did, I explained to her that at first, new things can be scary. But if you try them, you might actually find out that you don't mind them after all, and you might even start to enjoy them. Now, after I made my last video, I apparently got a lot of Alaskans fired up. I received no less than 20 messages from my friends telling me that I was wrong and that ski flying is amazing and that I just needed a mission. And I guess that's the whole point. Ski flying is like the browned, burned part of the bagel for me. I love flying just like my daughter loves the rest of that bagel, but I just don't like the slightly burned part. And just like I did to my daughter, Josh tricked me into this flight. Because what he didn't tell me was that Nikki had already fixed her ski. He didn't call me because she needed supplies. He called me because he wanted to be a good boyfriend and bring her firewood and pizza.
What are you trying to tell me, Win? What are you telling me? I feel you, but what are you telling me? I feel you.
But at this point in the story, I still don't know that. I still think that I am flying much needed supplies to keep a mission alive.
Tear it in half, make a sharp knife, so we can go to bed. Oh, before you go, man.
It's a gorgeous day out here, man. No, let's keep our fingers crossed for good snow conditions on the lake. Yeah.
So we found her and her group, and we lined up to land. The lake was ice. Well, I mean, it was ice and snow drifts. The ice here is really thick. It's been a really cold winter this year, so there really isn't much of a threat of that ice giving way. But the snow drifts add a bit of a challenge. So I found a bit more snow toward the edge of the lake, and I made that landing as soft as possible. We met up with the group, and it became really clear that I had been tricked. At that point, though, I honestly didn't care that much. It was a really nice day, and things were still going pretty well. And truthfully, I had tricked Josh many times before, so I just thought of it as kind of payback. After getting a fire started in the stove, the firewood and pizzas delivered, and a drone flight completed, it was time to get back home. And on startup, that's when I found out that we indeed had a pretty serious problem. My alternator field breaker kept tripping, which meant that I was on battery power for both the startup and the rest of that flight. And that's not exactly the kind of surprise that you want when you're sitting on a frozen lake in the middle of nowhere in the middle of winter. This was likely related to something that had taken an absolute beating on that last landing. So now I'm doing the kind of math that you never really want to be doing as a pilot. How much battery life do I have left, and how does that translate into time? And this is where I need to give credit to Dynon Avionics. After pulling all the breakers for my tip lights, my strobes, and really anything that I didn't need, my avionics were pulling only 1 amp. 3 screens, a transponder, a magnetometer, an engine management system, and 2 comm units, 1 amp. That is ridiculously low power. We made it back to Birchwood without any further issues, and it's clear that we've got quite a bit of work to do. So for right now, 13 Charlie is yet again down for maintenance, with less than 2 weeks until I leave on my 12,000 mile trip. And actually, as I'm sitting here telling you this, I realize that I've never finished the story about my daughter and those bagels. Because when I left off, I had just tricked her, and she had eaten that burned part. And just like Josh probably felt today, I actually thought that I had won. She'd finally decided that the brown burned part of that bagel wasn't really a big deal. But I was wrong, and so is Josh. She still makes me cut off the bottom of the bagel, and I still don't like ski flying.
This doesn't matter for Alpha. Leaving my airspace to the east. Squawk VFR, you are cleared to adventure.